See, make sure it works. Okay, awesome. So how's it going, everyone?
It's going just
Hey, it's a podcast.
It's a hangout. It's a meeting.
It's
Aha! This is our own.
It's that.
Like that. Oh, God damn it. But just stop showing me that.
Oh.
Every single time my friend's cell phone goes to 69%, he's like, "Hey, check this out." Don't care about your 69%.
No, I just happened to see it. It's coincidence, I swear.
Every single time it's been
It's
coincidence.
coincidence.
Okay.
69%.
At all.
I'm sorry, guys. I swear. I'm not trying to interfere.
He is. Welcome, guys, to those who are watching and those who are attending to this week's meeting.
Woo!
We have a small audience, but that's no big deal. That's why we record them.
Indeed.
So, like I said, we're only 4 weeks away from RTX. That only means we can get together one more time before we actually see each other in person. That's pretty crazy, right?
Very crazy.
I'm pretty excited.
It's totally snuck up on me. I wasn't expecting. But
Being here, I actually I've been meaning to. I would have liked to have had more money saved up for the event before now, but then I look at my calendar. I'm like, oh shit, coming up, and I don't have what I was hoping for.
I'm the same way. I think I'm going to be resorting to my credit card, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. Well, today I didn't really have much planned, except the one thing I do want to cover is the script. Ever since we decided that we're going to change the script, Dexter, do you have access to the script?
I do not. Go ahead and send me a link to that.
Yeah, if you give me a second, I'll send you a link. But we never changed it. I guess I never got around to it, or maybe just never happened. But I want to go ahead and just change that today. Where is the chat box? All right, I just sent you the link in the chat. Should be able to get that.
Yep, I see it.
So, like the last part, the reason why I'm skeptical to touching it is because I'm a terrible writer, but at the same time I don't want to kind of mess up the mojo that Tard Weasel has. So I'm gonna go ahead and message him right now and see if we can't get him to join.
Yeah, Tard Weasel.
Tard Weasel. But James, I'm glad you're on today. I forgot who the person was that we talked about who did the storyboard. I was going to just go ahead and do a call out as I normally did for like casting call and other stuff. But I want to start getting the storyboard going now, which is why I'm kind of like prioritizing changing the script to what we're going to need it to, so that way we can send it to the person. Who was it that...
I don't remember. It's in the forum, if I remember correctly. Hold on, her username's kind of difficult to remember. Lots of numbers. Friends.
So who exactly am I in this thing?
Well, kind of the idea I had, what I haven't planned for you is just kind of like a background character.
Okay.
Or
I know I signed up for two things. One being a guardian, and then two I signed up.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did put your name down for the guardian. Yeah, kind of what I had planned for you is we may end up needing fake lines, so we're probably going to need like a couple extra people to pretend to be a line. But the script also calls for the weird kid, so I might just have you be that.
Sure.
But I still haven't decided. But that's kind of like a available whoever's available kind of basis. So.
Okay.
Yeah, right now I'm kind of just keeping you in the hopper.
Okay.
So let's see. Let me see if I can't pull up Tard Weasel. Yeah, I think, James, if you remember the meeting that we talked about the script specifically, we decided to go ahead and cut out basically the RT member altogether, and then just kind of have a retaliation going.
It is simpler, not gonna lie.
What's that?
I'm still kind of out of the loop though, so I'm just kind of like...
Oh. Well, not much has
all you want.
Since your last time you attended a meeting, but kind of what has been going on is auditions, which has taken a little bit longer than I was hoping it would. But I should be able to have that done by the end of this week, and I will have everybody cast by Saturday, I hope.
Good.
I'm still missing one person to fill in the Clara or Jane role, depending on who I decide to use the people who audition for, the whatever roles there I'm going to put them in. But I'm actually thinking I might change Jane to a male. I just don't know. I don't think it's going to change the script that much. But depending on
Jane, though.
what's that?
I said leave the name Jane though.
A man named Jane? Yes.
Hey,
Yes. Hey, ever seen Firefly?
Firefly's a good show.
I've seen what?
Firefly?
Yeah. You know.
I have never seen this, but
Yeah.
I will take your word for it.
Yeah, there's a guy named Jane.
You were missing out.
Is he like the manliest dude there? Awkward.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. But yeah, like the only reason is because I have more male options, so it might be a little bit easier that way. But if you guys, I don't know, I know Dexter, this is probably the first time you looked at the script,
It
but
is, yeah.
the characters, like the interaction between the characters, it seems a little shallow. I don't know if we should go ahead and start adding a little more dialogue to that. What's your opinion on that, James?
Sorry, I was looking to see if I could find who the storyboard artist is. Can you ask that one more time? I'm losing
Oh, that's
count.
okay. That's okay. I want to add a little more extra meat to like the dialogue between each character, especially between Jane and Claire. But the one thing I'm afraid of is when Jane just kind of forgets about who Claire is. I just don't know if that'll end up kind of ruining that scene. You kind of see what I'm trying to say here?
Maybe.
Because I'm just afraid that there's not
something to be said for simplicity too, but I don't know.
True.
Ugh.
I was going to be open to the idea for ad libs and just kind of like we're going to do this, we shoot the scene normally and then we kind of add some dialogue as we go. But
Sure.
when it comes to improv, I know how unpredictable improvising can be. So
Yeah.
That's fine.
I think maybe to an extent we should have some improv, you know, but definitely have a script to follow.
For sure.
I
Because if
agree.
you don't have a structure, you're gonna get stuck with a lot of crap that you have to deal with.
Exactly.
Right.
So, and then even the improv, as long as we direct it a certain way, like only talk about this, or this, or please don't talk about this, or this, you know.
Fair enough.
I think improv could definitely work.
Okay. Yeah, because one thing, kind of my philosophy when it comes to shooting a video, is there's no such thing as too much footage. But
Because you
yeah,
can always cut.
yeah, because I want to personally as an editor, I'd rather have too much so I can have like different options and something to work with, as opposed to so little that there's not enough to put the puzzles together. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
I've had that before where I've worked on projects where they literally only did 2 takes of every scene, if that at all, and then they would just give it to me. It's like, hey, you want to put this together real quick? And it looks bad on me as an editor because it's just like the worst video ever when it comes out, and it's just like I really wish I had more options.
So yeah, because that's kind of what saved our short last year. We almost had it just fall apart, but since we had a lot of B-roll and stuff like that we took care of, it was saving grace in that sense.
Oh, okay, that's good.
By the way, there's the username in the chat, Sailor Girl 81. She's the one that storyboarded for us last year.
Oh, you know what? I think I have her in my friends
I've got
list.
her in my friends list.
I'm gonna have to send her a message.
Yeah.
Right on. I'll go ahead and talk to her. And this week, probably tomorrow or Tuesday, I was going to put a call out for that, for the to see if anybody wants to draw the storyboard, and a call out for our editor. And I want to start getting that rolling. And hopefully I'll have an editor chosen by the time we're at RTX.
The editor should actually be the easiest part, because it seems like we have the most candidates for that.
Really?
Yeah. Like the people I've talked to, most of the ones have been like, I want to edit.
Oh, okay.
Would you be able to send me like a tentative this person's cast for this type of thing?
Oh,
Just,
yeah.
PM
Well,
me?
I mean, so far the only thing that I have is the casting call. I'll go ahead and send you the link to that. But for the most part, the way I see it, the people who have signed up for their roles, for the most part, that's the parts they're going to have. So if you give me 1 second, send you the link to that.
Work with what you got.
Yeah. I don't want to be too picky, considering
Yeah.
the fact that I don't have too many options.
As long as we're better than last year, I'll consider that a win.
Fair enough.
I wish I was part of the
especially
one
since
last year.
the UK short was pretty good. I'm wanting to hope that we at least match that, but also if we can do better than that, that'd be good too.
They definitely set a high bar with that short. That was funny. I've actually watched it a couple times myself, trying to get some inspiration. But let's see.
How many cameras do we have?
I think we have two. We have two T3Is,
Yeah.
and then I think
Hopefully we'll have at least 2 or 3 on any one time.
That's from what I understand. That's also here. I'll send you a link to that. We have that equipment list, but I don't know how accurate this is. I haven't really been keeping up with the equipment list.
As long as you communicate with the people, they should be good to share with you. Just make sure that you actually let them know what you need, like when you need
Right on.
it.
Yeah.
That kind of the next question is that do you have any idea when you want to actually start shooting this?
That's kind of what I'm starting talking about. I want to start shooting. Let's see, because I'm planning on showing up to Texas on the 2nd, so I'll be there evening of the 2nd. So I will be in the convention center on the 3rd. I just didn't know kind of like what we're looking at as people being in Texas by then, but I would like to at least have everybody and lunch or something and just talk about what's going to happen in the next couple of days.
The 2nd's a Tuesday, right? Is that right? Tuesday?
The 2nd is a Tuesday, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be coming in that weekend before, like the 29th or 30th or whatever that is.
Okay.
So I'll be there too. If you want.
Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, maybe I won't.
Organizing a meal or something shouldn't be too bad. That's what we did last year, and it was pretty good because you can get a script read through and that kind of thing. It's nice to have that.
Yeah, I'm going to start planning that too, maybe a little bit closer to RTX and say, hey, we're going to meet here at this time. We're just going to eat lunch and read over the script.
Sure.
But as far as shooting, I think probably going to end up shooting on the last day of the event or the day after the event, maybe.
We're not gonna shoot until after the event's over.
That's kind of what's looking like right now. I don't know what everybody's schedule is looking like, but I'm going to be an exhibitor guardian, like I said, and that's probably going to take up a lot of my time. So I'm thinking, did they release times of each day when the convention is going to open and close?
They probably won't do that until closer, like 2 or 3 weeks from the event.
I know on your job listing it should list your hours in that you're working.
Really?
What? Sorry.
Did they do that?
Thanks for ordering Domino's, dude. Shout out. Domino's.
This hangout is brought to you by Domino's.
Indeed.
And their
Did you say Domino's?
and their terrible lava cakes that are absolutely delicious.
Right?
I take pride in knowing that most of those lava cakes Michael ate were the ones I sent. So.
Oh yeah. How many did they end up getting that day?
Well, I sent them 4 containers worth, which is like 8 or 10.
That's about 8. Yeah. That's
And they got another like set of 2 or 3 after that. So
Those lava cakes, man. I'm telling you.
I was proud.
I'm jealous.
What were we saying? Right. Scheduling. Where you said it was in the job listing?
It should be.
I'm gonna look this up.
I thought it was.
I think it just says what you said you could do, not necessarily what you're actually doing. Because it should be between your team lead and you, like how you.
Yeah, because I remember messaging somebody asking them, or no, actually I called somebody who was a guardian. They said, or like a team lead last year, and they said that it was really up to the team leads to set up times with their subordinates whenever they're going to need them, kind of just get a tentative schedule going. But there's no actual set time for each position.
Right, that's what I thought too, but I distinctly remember seeing something about it.
Well, here's the thing. I spoke to Roadblock, John Cerna, and I had him send out the proposal to a couple different members. He didn't really specify who he sent them to, but they're out there. So hopefully we'll hear back soon, and we might be able to sneak in before and after the event on each day, which is kind of what I've been planning on. So what I was hoping we could do is on maybe on the 3rd or the 2nd or the 3rd, we eat lunch and have like a quick script read through, And if possible, since registration is going to be happening on that day, the convention center will be open. So we might be able to, depending on how many people we have, might be able to start getting some shots in on that day, and then just kind of starting to getting a feel that throughout the day.
Yeah.
As long as we actually get it all done and we don't lose our footage, we'll be light years ahead of.
I hope we don't lose our footage. I don't see why we would.
Just make sure we bring enough to have a backup.
Okay, I'll be bringing the stuff I have. I have a couple
Two
extra
copies.
memory cards we could use. But the question is if they're formatted. I don't think so, but well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Just as long as
Awesome.
everyone's prepared, we'll be good.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, if we could probably start shooting that day, we should. But I'm thinking if we're going to dedicate a day to production, to actual shooting, it would be after the event, but we would probably be getting shots throughout the event, like every evening at the if the convention closes, when the convention closes, maybe start getting shots then. That's kind of what I had in mind. But at this point, I can't seem to get away with setting days for us to be able to shoot, like times.
Until you know who's cast for sure, and then you verify with them when they'll be there and when they won't be there, you can't really know anyway. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another thing too. When it's kind of the availability of the actors too. Because I spoke with when I was auditioning Asaya for one of the roles. She says she's coming up from Florida and she's not going to even be there until probably the morning of the event. So it'll be a little bit harder to get her.
I would, just in case, if you meet anybody there that's interested, keep them in mind as backups, because it's always good that we have people just in case someone has to leave all of a sudden or something like that.
Which is why I'm glad Dexter
Understood.
is an extra, and hopefully I'll be able to get some more people as just kind of, hey, I'll be an extra or something like that. So that way, if I really need to, hopefully I won't, I can just say, hey, you're going to be this, you're going to have these lines, read them.
Yeah, we had to do that last year as well. Again, last year was atrocious in some ways. So again, if you have any questions, ask Mark or me.
Okay.
Things you don't want to do.
Okay, sounds good.
Plenty of stories about that.
Okay, and please stop me if I'm making a huge mistake that you guys know that's going to turn, just like slap me across the face in the virtual world and just say, hey, don't do that.
I'll just wait till I see you and then slap you.
That
Fair enough.
works too. Just let me know what's happening. But yeah, shooting, I want to start on the moment everybody gets together and just be like, hey, let's go over to the convention center real quick and get some shots in. All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then from there, I'm thinking once we actually are at the convention, we kind of see what the times will look like for us to be able to get the shots in. That's when we'll be like, okay, let's all get together at this time tomorrow, either early in the morning or in the evening, and then we'll start getting shots in.
Sure.
Awesome.
And yeah, early is good, or late evening's good too, because it's gonna be hot. It's always so hot.
I know. Which is kind of why I'm hoping early evening would work, because it's a little bit cooler too.
Luckily, we're inside for most of it, so there's that.
There will be air conditioning.
Right? Air conditioned good.
Thank God for air conditioning.
Last year, laying in the alley behind 6th Street, like 102-degree weather.
Oh, Jesus.
Don't recommend it. Smelled bad, felt bad. It was gross.
It was very wet.
It actually was, believe it or not.
I hate moisture. Here in Colorado, it's a dry state, but recently it's been really humid.
Yeah, like we got a good rain earlier today.
Really?
Yeah. I live in Manitou. At least we got good rain here.
Yeah, it's just been so hot lately, man. I'm telling you.
But Springs isn't far, so you guys should have gotten just as much rain as I did.
Well, it did start raining over the Broadmoor, but it wasn't pouring. There was thunderstorms, though. I was scared for my life.
Coming down pretty good over Manitou, and I was over by the Broadmoor, so.
Oh, really?
Earlier today, yeah. I went to the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo.
Oh, nice. It's always a good place to go.
What's that?
It's always a good place to go.
Oh, yeah. I
Let's
like
not
it.
talking local here. We're here on the internet where people are around the world. Or you
Let's
guys
go
Yeah, everybody
local.
come to Colorado. Check out the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo.
Did you say Cheyenne Mountain?
Brought to you by the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. All right.
All right.
My question for you is, for last year when it comes to the storyboard, how did you guys coordinate kind of the scenes that you were looking for?
That would be a question I couldn't answer because that was mostly between Casual Trials and her, who was our director last year. Um, I would imagine. Yeah, I don't know. I would ask Sailor Girl. I would talk to her first, or whoever you want to talk to about it, and then communicate and how they want to best like discuss that.
Sounds good.
I couldn't tell you for sure.
Right on. Well, I'll go ahead. Yeah, since I'll be messaging her soon, I'll go ahead and talk to her about it
For
and
sure.
see what she says. Yeah, because that's kind of one thing that I've always wondered. I've done storyboards before, but I've always had the person next to me, or like sometimes I've actually been on set where like, okay, this is kind of what we're looking for. Like, this is one of my favorite things to do. It's just like, ooh, I can do this.
Classic.
A classic, indeed. But yeah, we'll figure out how we're gonna duel this out. Did you guys have any questions for me?
Let's see.
Dude, I'm scared.
Hmm.
Interrogation has started.
I don't know. I still like the idea of finding some way to have like a group chat of some kind closer to the event so that we can all coordinate quickly instead of
Yeah.
having to deal with like text or something.
Oh, okay. Is there?
Here.
I would say we could get an app that does that, but I don't know of any that would work. What did the Guardians use that last year?
How about we meet up on the 25th? It's exactly 1 week away from us going down there.
On the 25th.
That's a Wednesday.
Do you mean like hang out or like physically meet?
Like on Google.
Okay.
I was like, what? I don't know if I can get out that early. I'd
Well,
love
you
to.
and I, that's no problem. You and I can just meet up here somewhere.
That's a good point. Yeah, we are pretty much right next to each other, so we can just kind of go grab lunch or something.
Yeah. Except
But-
my car is dead right now, so it would have to be within spitting distance of where I live.
Fair enough. Manitou has some pretty good local places anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually thinking I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to meet more frequently. I was going to say next Sunday we're also going to get together. And
Okay.
yeah, we can go ahead and do that too, and just throw in an extra meeting on Wednesday. Though Wednesday I do have an audition that that's next week. Never mind. But yeah, coming closer to the event, I'm just going to say from now on every week we're going to get on Hangout so we can just make sure people are talking, make sure people don't forget that this is happening.
Right.
Unfortunately, there's only 3 of us here, but at this point, it's not that bad. People are here. That's what matters.
Yeah. What's our cast looking like for right now?
Well, I sent you the link. I put the link into the chat. I think it's the latest one that I put in there. It's the casting call. For the most part, the people who have signed up for their roles are going to be. It looks like there's a good chance that's what's going to happen with the roles. Right now, if anything, the auditions are more kind of like, this is what I'm looking for. Can you portray it? And so far, people have portrayed it so far. John Cerna is definitely looking very hopeful for the obnoxious guy, so that's going to be fun.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a good thing, but my only question from that is, would you get a group email together with all the people on the casting list? Because if they can be in one of these group chats, like most of them, that's going to mean that we can actually, maybe get a script read through of some kind before we actually read it in person and actually like all there and present.
Yeah.
And just having them there on a level of creativity to actually let them all know who they're going to be working with and that kind of thing. So getting that together might not be a bad idea. If you're communicating to them anyway, you may as well be like, hey, if you can, try and make it to this meeting on this date, and that way we'll have like the actual, cast here. And then if we can get Mark, because he'll be, I guess, manning the cameras for the most part, and whoever else we have on the crew side of things together as well, that'd be good. Because just having like a general cast and crew meeting as best we can is going to be pretty good. We never really got that before, and if we can actually pull it off, it'd be pretty great.
Okay, that's an excellent suggestion. I think I'll go ahead and start working on that too. Put that together. It would be nice to have a read through with everybody at one point on the Google Hangout before having it in person. That way they do get it. The actors get more of a feel of who they're going to be interacting with when it comes to the role.
Yeah.
Sure.
I really like that. Okay, I'll take note of that, and then we'll go ahead and do that.
Just something to mention when you're emailing them or talking to them anyway. Just
Yeah, that's an excellent idea.
And if they know ahead of time, maybe they'll actually be here, because 3 people, not very many people.
Yeah, although I do try my best to kind of every once in a while say, hey, this is going to be the day where the meeting's going
I
to happen.
gotcha. It's
But
not
did
easy.
well last time. A lot of people did show up to the last one, which was awesome. It was actually a very fun meeting. But I think it's just at this point people are just busy. It's happened before. So is
Sure.
today another event? I feel like today might be another holiday that I might have ruined for everybody. Go ahead.
Got no idea.
Is it Game of Thrones? It's Game of Thrones night, isn't it?
I think that season's actually over now.
Now there's no excuse for people not to make it.
I don't know for sure. I don't remember.
But yes.
It's next week, the 15th. On the 15th, we're having a meeting.
Okay.
That's when you're thinking.
On the 15th, yes, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that on the forum after we get off here.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a piece of paper out real quick. Cast meeting. I need to make sure I do this editor call.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
On the storyboard person thingy. All right. All right. I'm trying to think of something else we should talk about. Any ideas, guys? Anything you want to throw out there?
Off the top of my head, no.
No.
All right.
Most of my stuff's covered.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited for this.
I'm not excited, not at all.
Dude,
Get off the stage.
calm down. I can
Fire.
feel your excitement through my screen. It's just radiating.
I know. It's like Super Saiyan.
Right?
Failed attempt to do nerd joke, but yes. Yeah, I was hoping I'd have more of the actors here, and specifically, I need to get in contact with Tardweasel. I haven't talked to him at all. I want to be friends. But yeah, if anything, I want to get the script change and storyboard going by the end of this week. Editor, like I said, I'm going to make an editor call this week and see if anybody wants to send me in. We did talk about this when it comes to the doing an editor, like seeing who wants to edit. We talked about kind of having them send in videos, and what I've decided was it's this basically sample work so that I can kind of get an idea of what the style would look like. I'll get your guys' opinion on this. We decided on making sure that the max is going to be 5 minutes of the video, but there's going to be no minimum amount of time for sending in like a montage, say. What do you guys think of that?
I would say you should put a minimum just in case there's those people that are like, I'm going to do like 5 seconds.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
So like, you could say like 30 seconds or something, minimum. I don't know.
okay.
Just, I wouldn't say no minimum because it's the internet. You never know.
This is true. Well, the one thing that I did wanted my counter argument to that was if we were to not set a minimum, if somebody were to send in like a 10-second, like the most awesome video I've ever seen in the 10 seconds before, like that would kind of tell me that they're pretty good at tight edits and tight cuts, which isn't that big of a deal when it comes to this video on its own, but that does say that they have the experience.
That's
Yep.
fair. That's fair.
I mean, I'm still thinking about it. I might still end up giving it maybe like a 30-second or 1 minute minimum, but I'll just kind of play with that by ear.
I gotcha.
So, it's kind of like what I'm going to do to select an editor.
I can do some editing.
Yeah?
Well, okay, here's a question for you.
Mhm.
Are you going to provide the computer I'm editing on with the programs we're using? Or
No, if I could, I would, but I am a poor college student. I can't even afford my own editing software.
Yeah, I just meant like, are you bringing the computer that we'll be doing the editing on? Or would you like me to also bring mine down?
Well, it's possible the editing will be done after the fact. I mean, if we're shooting after the event, a lot of people have to leave.
That's true.
Yeah, like what I had in mind is whatever footage we gather, whatever we have as far as like shooting, we were gonna give it to the editor, kind of like in bulk. Just give them whatever, because that's kind of how I thought it was gonna be. Just kind of get the editor to give all the footage, and then just like, hey, here's the footage. Go ahead and play around with it. I'll be checking in every once in a while to see what you have,
Yeah.
or kind of, and just like if you have any questions, let me know. That's kind of what I had in mind as far as that's going. Because obviously we're not all going to be together during the entire post-production
Right.
process. I can't talk today. But yeah, that's kind of what I had in mind. Is that how you guys did it last year, James?
Yeah. What happened was that I believe we had an external hard drive we just dumped everything to every day. And that person would take it and then they were going to work on it. His hard drive died though after he transferred it from the external and deleted it. So luckily we had to transfer to the like a Dropbox account which we had to download from, and for most of us it was a real pain.
Yeah, it sounds
So it was really convoluted, the whole system. There was like everything that could go wrong did.
yeah.
So having a backup off the bat would be great. Like someone, yeah, the editor with an external hard drive or whatever they're gonna put it on, and then someone else like you or anyone else that it might edit would be the one to hold the rest, because
Okay.
you
Worst
just don't
come
want
to
something
worst.
happening where you lose all your footage.
I might go get a brand new external hard drive. I've been thinking about doing it anyway, so I might just bring that and have the editor borrow it, or just to have it, just to have backup. But would it be too much of an ordeal to just keep the footage on flash drive or on the SD cards that they'd be recorded on?
Um, it depends on how much you film. Because if you do 7 or 8 takes and each takes say 30 minutes to like 30 minutes, 30 seconds to like a minute, and if you're shooting at full HD, it can be pretty hefty.
That's true. Yeah.
So it depends on your card. If your SD card's massive, then sure.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
It's a 3 terabyte SD card. Yes.
Yeah. Let's dump everything into Dropbox and Google Drive as well to have a backup stored somewhere as well.
I think
Yeah.
last year we ended up with like 21 gigs of video or something. It was pretty big.
Dang.
Oh,
So-
wow. All on the drive?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's why it took so long, is because we had so much we had to like transfer back and forth, and
I was about to say, because putting that up on its own would probably take a really long time, and then having to download it again,
yep,
and it all depends on your internet connection too.
yep.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh.
and that being said, we just need to also make sure that we get quality stuff right off the bat, because some of the
Mhm.
shots we had were just atrocious. So if we have the chance, knowing what type of audio situation we're going to be in is going to be a big plus.
That was
So-
my other question too. Did you guys record your audio on a separate
Yeah.
hardware?
Okay, so originally we tried on-camera like little like shotgun mics, right? But where we were shooting, especially outside, that would not work.
Yeah, I heard the
so
audio.
we borrowed a boom mic from JJ
Mm-hmm.
for a while, and we the whole time anyway we were using external. Like, other than that, we'd also have an external like a handheld recorder
Mm-hmm.
that we would run, that Mark has, I believe, and we also tried lapel mics at one point, some lavaliers, and we tried a few different things. So,
Okay.
just long story short, if we're gonna shoot somewhere specific, try and see what the atmosphere is gonna be like. If we're shooting after the event or before it, hopefully it won't be too noisy people-wise, and so it should be fine because it's inside.
Right.
But just something to be aware of as you're planning out locations and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one thing I had in mind too. Is when it comes to the shots of people being in line, I did want to have a bit like kind of like an atmosphere sound. So I was thinking that if we were to be on the second floor where most of the panels are going to be, there's not as much traffic as there is on the first floor. But it's all together. It's going to be also a bigger event. So they're
The second floor can be pretty crowded though, depending on the time frame. But yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
At the very least, if you need that, you could just record the ambient noise for like
Oh
2
yeah,
or
we
3
can.
minutes.
Oh yeah.
Put it in
And then
over.
just add it on top, basically, and then just fake people walking in front of the camera.
Yeah, I mean, as a backup, you should always be prepared for it. So yeah, just like 5 minutes of just ambient noise that you can loop if you needed to.
I'm okay with yeah.
It was wonders last year as well.
Yeah, just go and stand right in the middle of the convention hall and just little microphone in hand.
Or no, just put a
Yeah,
camera.
just like that.
Because it like all you're recording is the noise, but it's funny to see people's reactions to a camera. It's just like I've seen people before. They're just like, "There's a camera." God, no.
It's always
I know that's what I do.
most inconvenient if you're trying to film something like legitimately, and then the person comes by the camera and is like, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
I'm on camera, hey.
There's always that one person. It's like a news reporter.
And then you have to take it again. You have to
Yeah.
cut and go back, and I'm just like,
Although I will be disappointed if nobody gets in front of the camera and says, "Hi, Mom."
it's always one.
But yeah, I think that's a good idea. We would just record ambient noise, and then because that's what I had in mind. I wanted to, if worst case scenario, if we could get the convention as empty as possible, and then just have a handful of people just to stage the convention. That's Like that would be the most controlled environment.
Yeah.
Bless you. But yeah, we'll basically that's kind of like what I'm thinking as like the worst case scenario if we'd had to get the convention.
Here, be back in a sec.
Right on.
Okay.
But yeah, that's kind of like I had in mind, where the worst case scenario, there's nobody in the hall, and then we just, I guess, like you said, we record the audio and then just put that on top and fake it.
His Dominoes must have just gotten you.
Oh snap! Lava cakes. Lava cakes. Save me a slice. Send it across.
He's not going to. He
Send it
should.
through FedEx too, because I hate the post office. But
Really nice when the weather.
yeah,
The other conversation.
I know.
But I'll haul one of my TVs out here and I'll just sit on the deck and play video games.
What is happening?
Oh, this is the best.
Turn up his
Okay.
lungs.
Alright. Hmm.
It's like having a bonding moment with the delivery person.
I just met my soulmate, guys.
I just.
Give me an extra large pizza.
I mean, if they're delivering pizza, they're already your soulmate.
There we go. My pizza is here.
Yeah.
So we heard your adventure.
Here's your adventure.
Did you?
Your exploits. They're now on the internet.
That's fine. I don't care.
Everyone heard.
A man with no shame. Respect.
Solidarity.
Solidarity. All right. So what else do we need to talk about?
Feet. Let's
Well,
talk about
with,
feet
with
for a
just the
second.
three of us, it's it
And,
might be kind of short.
An ingrown tone. No, I'm joking.
All right. Well, we kind of discussed what's going to happen in the next week. We're going to have another meeting next Sunday at the same time, which I'll be
Yeah,
circulating.
you really need to nail that down because people, if they're thinking we have them every 2 weeks, they'll be kind of confused.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking I might start doing a post every single day, just being like, hey, next week we're gonna have a meeting. Reminder.
That would do it. That would do it.
Yeah, hopefully I have everybody signed up to my journal post so that they can at least be able to tell. If not, I'll be bothering people on the forums or just sending them messages.
Hmm.
Don't forget to join us for our light bondage session. Eric's not here, so somebody's got to say something weird.
Dude, yeah, he's all about it all the time.
It's just the most. All right. Well, if you guys don't have any other questions for me, I think we're gonna go ahead and call it a night.
Okay.
And we're gonna. I'll go ahead. If anything comes up, I'll put it on the forum. I'll put it in the journal. Or if you guys have any questions for me, if anybody who's watching has any questions for me, roosterteeth.com/MannyQ93. Send me a message. Send me a request. Funny pictures of cats. Nothing creepy like this, please.
Yeah, there's
Keep
already
that
a
to
cat
yourselves.
screen, so.
Otherwise, I think this wraps up today's meeting.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen here on the meeting, thank you so much for joining, and I will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.